Hi, ladies. I wanted to jump on because something came up that I really needed to discuss with you guys. And of course, as luck would have it, as soon as I try to step outside on my back porch to record this, the garbage truck comes by. But such is life. It's actually a good metaphor for what I'm about to discuss with you. So let's move right in. I'm right here in my bedroom recording this. Something was said to me um, about 3 years ago that really struck a nerve. And I've been meaning to talk to you ladies about this for a while, but I didn't quite know, I guess, how to word it. And I was a little bit nervous that your reaction to this is going to be the same as my reaction 3 years ago. But it needs to be said, so I'm just going to put it out there and hopefully you don't hate me afterwards. Um, what was said to me 3 years ago, now mind you, this was in the middle of me being completely burned out and tired and exhausted and just generally having a good old fashioned self pity party where I just felt life sucked. I didn't see a silver lining, I didn't see anything positive, and I felt stuck. I felt like there was nothing I could do about it. So, what this person said to me was very simple yet very profound. They said, "You are not that special." When I first heard that, I was pissed. I laid into that person. I mean, I went to, how dare you dismiss what I'm going through every day? How dare you basically tell me that my circumstances, that my situation doesn't matter? What I didn't realize at the time, that's totally not what that person meant, and that's not what the saying really stands for either. So when I heard it, I totally shut that person out, and I didn't want to talk to them the rest of the day, much less the next week or the next month, because I didn't understand what they meant by it. So this is also why I was hesitant to post this video right now, because I don't want you guys to be mad at me, but it needs to be said. So what this really boils down to is this. It comes down to the comparison game that we always play and to always waiting for the perfect moment to make a change. So the comparison game comes in when we're feeling crappy. We usually do one of two things. Either we seek out other people who feel crappy, so we can all feel crappy together and complain about it, or we seek out other people who feel crappy and try to help them. Because it makes us feel better that we can help somebody else when we can't help ourselves. And I see this every day in various different support groups, especially for us special needs moms. We're very good at taking care of everybody else, but not taking care of ourselves. So this is where this basically stems from. We're always very concerned about our family and our special needs kid and maybe other kids that you have. And we're always trying to meet their needs. And we are fighters. We will go out there and make it happen for them. We will fight for whatever services they need. We will fight with insurance companies. We will fight with DMEs. We will fight with the school system. We will take on the world for them. But we don't do that for ourselves. When it comes to doing that for ourselves, we get back into the comparison game and a good old-fashioned self-pity party. And that's where the saying comes in, really. If we play this comparison game for a minute and generalize it, there's always somebody else out there who either has the life that you want or who's in a worse situation than you are. So as human beings, it's natural to do the comparison game in your head and to always seek out both of those directions to kind of see where you fit in. But we're not doing ourselves any favors. Everybody's situation is unique, Everybody's child is unique, but in the big scheme of things, we are not that special. Our struggles are not that special. There are so many other people's struggling too every single day, each in their own way. So that's really where that saying came from. It's not about dismissing what you're going through. It's not about, getting a nice little lowball shot in or saying that I don't care about you. It's about making you realize, stop being the victim. You are not the victim of your circumstances. Sure, your child has some disorder that is really hard to deal with. And it puts a strain on your family, and it puts a strain on your finances, and it puts a strain on having that quote unquote normal social life that we all crave. But we still have control over how we respond to that. We can sit here and complain about it and spend all day on Facebook venting about it in other support groups, either by complaining about it to other people or trying to lift other people up. Or we can take a step back, unplug, and say, the only way this is going to get better is if I take care of myself. If I acknowledge that my needs matter just as much as anybody else in my family. So I might not be able to change my son's medical diagnosis. I might not be able to change the fact that I continuously have to fight with schools and DMEs and insurance companies, and that we have bills piling up, and that we're living off one income, and that I have worries every single day about his health, and I have worries about how the other boys are growing up having to deal with this and not getting the one-on-one attention that they crave. Sure, all those things still exist. But I'm making a conscious choice on how I want to respond to that. I can be this insecure victim, and it will come across to all the people around you, the school personnel, the DME, the insurance. It doesn't matter if it's in person or on the phone. That energy that you're giving off is felt by the people around you. So you can be the victim mode, and you can be all polite and ask for things, and then get disappointed when they don't happen, and then you get stressed out, and then you try to keep fighting. Or you can right away be upfront and bold and say, I'm a badass and I'm going to make this happen. And nothing is going to stand in my way. Whatever resources I need to pull from is what I'm going to do. Because this is important. This is just as important as getting the next new piece of medical equipment for my son. Taking time out for me to have a few minutes to myself is just as important. My attitude when I go into an IEP meeting is just as important. And the only way to get into that right kind of attitude, that right kind of mindset and mood, is to stop being the victim and to stop thinking that your struggle is that special. It sounds really harsh, and you might be really put off by me right now and might feel offended and think I'm full of shit. It's a chance I'm willing to take if it will help you like it helped me. You have to decide what you're going to make out of the situation instead of blaming the situation. What do you have control over? It can be so simple. Most people tend to overthink this. They want to change absolutely everything and all right now. They want a different life. Start by, if you're a caretaker, if you're sitting home with your kid every day and you're pretty much stuck at home, start by dressing up. So what if you're not going anywhere? Start by dressing up just because it makes you feel good about yourself. And that will change your mood, and that will change your actions for that day. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect. it's work in progress for me every single day. Every single day, I have to be aware of how I'm feeling and what I'm doing and how I can change it. So I might wake up happy, and then 10 minutes later, one of my kids made me mad. So how do I change back to being happy? How do I let their emotions not affect me? This is always work in progress. We're always growing. We're always making tiny little steps forward. It's as simple as getting up in the morning, putting on my tennis shoes, because then I'm mentally prepared to go outside and go for a walk. Do I have to put those on first thing in the morning? No, but I know myself well enough. If I don't do it, it's not going to happen. That walk is not going to happen. And just because I have a son who's on a ventilator, sure, it makes it a little bit more difficult to get out and go to the park like we did this morning. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. You just have to think outside of the box. Think of your circumstances. It might not be as simple as just jumping in the car and going somewhere. Maybe you can't even go somewhere, but what can you do right where you're at right now? On a day-to-day basis. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You have control over how you respond to them, how you talk, how you dress, how you eat, how you respond to your kids, how you respond to your husband, how you respond to your friends. If you want to hang out with your friends again, but you can't go out, so call them up. There's always another way if you're willing to act on it. So, take what you want from this. I just wanted to share that message with you because it has helped me tremendously when somebody was brave enough to say that to me 3 years ago. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the implications because it meant I had to look at myself and be ready to say, enough, I'm making a change. But it has truly been life-changing. So I hope this helps, and I hope you still talk to me in the group.